webcasting for a worldwide audience.
Good day. This is Radio Lewis, where the music matters. And this, of course, is the Cosmic Jukebox. There. Welcome once more. There we are. We kicked off with Black Sabbath there with Fairies Wear Boots from 1970, and this was from their second album, and what a success it was. Right, straight to it. Black Sabbath, the name. Tony Iommi explained in 1970, everybody thinks we're a black magic group, but we just picked the name because we liked it. So there. As to the cover of the album, now, even as a young man, I always thought the figure on the cover of that album was totally naff. But actually, looking at the Japanese and German artwork in 1980, if it had been that, whoa, scary. Anyway, Fairies Wear Boots, along with Planet Caravan, the instrumental, they were the kind of the odd man out on the album. And it actually was written, Fairies Wear Boots, for the skinhead fraternity who at the time were unfortunately targeting the band. Geezer Butler explains, we were in constant battles with them, so we wrote this song. Anyway, along it goes, bounding us into this 14th edition. Moving along to Tales of Justine and Monday Morning from 1967, and this is one of my favourites from the land of obscure. It was a B-side to a song called Albert, and in my humble opinion, the stronger track. It was their only single, and it and Albert are the first to feature Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. Now, I didn't know this, and it's quite a surprise for someone who, in all honesty, I'm not necessarily a fan. Tales of Justine, as I say, existed from 1967 to 1969, and their singer was a gentleman called David Daltrey. Yep, a relative of Roger Daltrey. Now, despite this going nowhere, Tales of Justine continued recording until 1969, and by all accounts had some good stuff. So file them in the increasing heading of further research. The black hole beside the cosmic jukebox is truly eternal. Tales of Justine, Monday Morning.
It's Monday morning, Monday today. It's Monday morning, I just can't get my way. Take me for a trip somewhere where I've never been. So as I'll forget today, then I won't be so mean. It's Monday morning, Monday today. It's Monday morning, I just can't get my way. I just can't get my way, yeah. I just can't get my way. I just can't get my way, yeah. I just can't get my way. And when you see me there, please don't bother me. I must forget today. It's over, can't you see? It's Monday morning, Monday today. It's Monday morning, I just can't get my way. I just can't get my way, yeah. I just can't get my way. I just can't get my way, yeah. I just can't get my way. I just can't get my way. Yeah, I just can't get my way. I just can't get my way. Yeah, I just can't get my way.
Tales of Justin. I was jiggling about in my seat to that one and I made myself feel a bit sick, so I won't do that again. Okay. Dinah Washington. Mad About the Boy, 1961. That's what we're going to hear now. Now these were words and lyrics by Noel Coward. And Dinah Washington was born as plain old Ruth Jones. She was, of course, known as the Queen of the Blues, and in fact, she actually spanned many other musical genres, including jazz, gospel, and indeed pop. Now, she was born in Alabama. She followed a familiar route, singing gospel music in church, and she then sang in various clubs and bars where her change of name took place, apparently at the Hampton. Now, between 1948 and 1955, she had a number of R&B hits, and in 1959, she reached number 4 in the US charts with What a Difference a Day Makes. There then followed 2 duets with Brooke Benton before her final big hit, September in the Rain, in 1961. Now, there's much more to her career. She really has some notable achievements, so well worth looking at that. Now, interesting, 1961, there is an earlier version of this song, Mad About the Boy, from 1952, but Dinah Washington's version actually reached popularity in 1992 when it was used during a commercial for Levi jeans. And that advert, incidentally, was influenced by a personal favourite film of mine, starring Burt Lancaster, called The Swimmer. Now do check that strange film out if you can. Anyway, here's Dinah Washington with Mad About the Boy.
I'm mad about the boy, and I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit the sleepless nights I've had about the boy. On the silver screen, he melts my foolish heart in every single scene. Although I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cad about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl who's in the flurry of her first affair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery and joy? I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about the boy. I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about
excellent Dinah Washington. Now, for an old favourite of ours, Arthur Brown. And this is not the usual Crazy World of Arthur Brown that people tend to select, but from Kingdom Come. And it's from the year 1972. And the track I've selected is Sunrise from the album Galactic Zoo Dossier, which actually I see came out in 1971, so there's a contradiction in my thinking there. I think it is 1971 actually. And this was the next step following the Crazy World of Arthur Brown. And despite some superb tracks actually, including this one, not a commercial success. Having said that, on a local level, I can certainly recall copies of the album in more than one bedroom that I saw back then. Two more albums followed, Kingdom Come, 1972, and Journey in 1973. There, I can see where I got confused there. Before Kingdom Come broke up. Oddly, some of Kingdom Come chose to become Kiki D's backing band, which is to me an odd move, but then what do I know? Anyway, hope you enjoyed this slice of 1970s magic. Tell you what, sit and listen with me to Arthur, Kingdom Come, and Sunrise.
Sunrise on the killing hands left me in the way. I'm looking round to find the light. Won't you let me see the day? Anywhere a man turns, he can't help but see waves of destruction and insanity. Deep down my soul raises a plea. Lord, bring back to will beckon. Will I soon push you right back again? The arms that caress you will fill you full of pain, and that's why I gotta love someone. Deep down in my heart, I gotta be free to let my soul grow. full of laughter and sunshine. The way behind you may seem very long but far away. And you may search this whole wide world longing for beauty, but never listen what a man say. You got to be just what you are, or you will never understand.
Now, time for a theme. And if it's memories you want, well, this one brings back so many. It's the Avengers theme, composed by Laurie Johnson. And of course, this was the TV series. I'm talking, incidentally, Diana Rigg and Patrick McNee here. And I was 10 when Diana Rigg took over. And the stories shifted, actually, not that I realised that, to a comic book fantasy element. I was kind of aware that there had been a previous series, which of course was Honor Blackman, and that started running incidentally in 1961, which was actually far more spy-orientated and loved by any number of adults. So this was kind of a progression of generations. So that's a bit weighty perhaps, but I do recall some of the episodes themselves being just a little bit too over the top, even age 10, and also the later years post Diana Rigg, which was I think Linda Thorson, not so keen on those. But hey, adventure and some real strangeness. They were restricted in this pre-multimedia age. Indeed, think of it, before there were even home VHS tapes, when recording was something that mad scientists did on TV. I digress. Cue Mr. John Steed and Miss Emma Peel, The Avengers. That was the ever excellent Steppenwolf with Ride With Me from 1971 and from the album For Ladies Only. And it was a song written actually by a gentleman going by the name of Miles Bonfire. And he also wrote Born to Be Wild. Now the original, which I actually haven't heard on Miles Bonfire's own album, is 6 minutes long and is called Ride With Me Baby. So I'll be interested to see what that's like. It was also, Ride With Me, released as a single for Steppenwolf. And while looking, I discovered the Bath Festival of Blues and Progressive Music from June 1970 at Shepton Mallet, Somerset. Just listen to this bill. Steppenwolf, Led Zeppelin, The Byrds, Donovan, Frank Zappa and Santana. In the words of Oliver Hardy, I have nothing to say. Now, bouncing in through the September morning comes Alma Cogan with If I Had a Golden Umbrella from the year 1953. And it was during this song, while recording, that she broke into a giggle, and then realising it added a little something, transferred it to other songs, and thus was born the girl with the giggle in her voice. Now, during those heady days of the 1950s, songs became hits for Alma. Dreamboat, for example, reached #1 in the UK. TV was her playground, and during 1956 and 1960, she topped the NME Readers' Poll 4 times for Outstanding British Female Singer. So just consider that. So, put the rain to one side, hoist the golden umbrella, and let Alma in for 2 minutes of undiluted optimism.
If I had a golden umbrella with the sunshine on the inside and the rainbow on the outside, if I had a golden umbrella, a wonderful world it would be. Your heart can get so melancholy when the bright skies you're under turn to lightning and thunder. The blues come along like a trolley, a clanging around on a spree. But if I had a golden umbrella, such wonderful things could be done. When it stormed up above, all the folks that I love could come under and laugh in the sunlight. If I had a golden umbrella with the sunshine on the inside and the rainbow on the outside, if I had a golden umbrella, a wonderful world it would be. But if I had a golden umbrella, such wonderful things could be done. When it stormed up above, all the folks that I love could come under and laugh in the sunlight. If I had a golden umbrella with the sunshine on the inside and a rainbow on the outside, if I had a golden umbrella, a wonderful world it would be. A wonderful world it would be.
Alma Cogan with If I Had a Golden Umbrella. Oh, hello.
I cannot accept that course of action. I cannot accept that course of action.
My computer is the best on earth.
Does not compute. Does not compute. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Well, it's not that bad, robot. Okay, yes, but it is a warning, though, because here comes one of those very rare, strange tracks that I like to pull out from time to time. And this week I've gone for Ian Whitcomb with My Dead Dog Rover. Now, this is a parody, actually, of a 1920s song, I'm Looking Over a Four-Leaf Clover. So you will recognise the music. Ian Whitcomb himself, actually, is quite interesting. He started in 1950s skiffle. He's a product of Dorset, in the UK, obviously. And that's for our American listeners, if we've got some there. And he really hit his stride in the mid-1960s with rhythm and blues band Bluesville. Now, this sporting life that he first did reached the US charts in 1965, and the follow-up, also in the USA, You Turn Me On, reached number 8 in the same year. He actually toured with, for example, the Kinks, the Stones, the Beach Boys, before, in 1966, he returned to do a version of Al Jolson's Where Did Robinson Crusoe Go with Friday on a Saturday night? Ukulele before Tiny Tim. This kick-started a very successful career which continues to this day. So I hope you like this one. If not, file it under, well, something you may not want to hear again. Here we are, Ian Whitcomb, My Dead Dog Rover.
What a beautiful day in lovely Altadena. Hardly any smog in sight. I think I'll try out my new garden power mower and mow the lawn. Take that dog away. Take that dog out of the way. He'll get run down by the mower. Oh no, over my house. I'm looking over my dead dog Rover who got hit by my power mower. One leg is missing, the other is gone. The third leg is scattered all over the lawn. No need explaining, the one leg remaining is spinning on the carport floor. I'm looking over my dead dog Rover and the whole thing's a f***ing bore. Oh God, what a mess. All over my lovely new jumpsuit too. My dog's not eating, he no longer barks. He hit the propeller and turned into sparks. No need explaining, there's no dog remaining. He's part of the grass and the yard. I'm looking over my dead dog Rover, and besides, the poor devil had no green card.
He came from somewhere back in her long ago.
That was the Doobie Brothers with What a Fool Believes from 1979 and their album Minute by Minute. And that song was written by Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins and reached #1 actually in the USA Billboard. The Doobie Brothers themselves were highly successful in the 1970s, and in the early part of the decade they had a kind of a rock folk approach, and that changed with Michael McDonald when he replaced lead vocalist Tom Johnston to the softer approach that we just heard there. The name, should you be interested, is West Coast slang for a joint. It was not a popular choice among the group members, but apparently was meant to be temporary, but it stuck. They were successful pre-1975, but spectacularly so post. Next, Graham Bond, Love is the Law. Now, in the mid-60s, Graham Bond was the leader of the Graham Bond organisation, and that particular group featured Jack Bruce bass, Ginger Baker drums, and Dick Hestel Smith on sax, and indeed John McLaughlin on guitar. John Heisman from Colosseum did eventually replace Ginger Baker after apparently another of those fallouts that Ginger Baker had throughout his entire career with Jack Bruce. In 1965 they appeared as themselves in a film called Gonks Go Beat, which is a film I own actually. It stars Frank Thornton from Are You Being Served and Kenneth Connor from the Carry On movies, and it also features Lulu and the Nashville Teens. Weird doesn't cover it. However, it was not exactly a successful movie. For Graham Bond, he left all that behind really, although not unfortunately his mental and physical problems, and he died aged just 36 in 1974. So this is proof of his extraordinary talent with the title track from the excellent Love is the Law album, Graham Bond.
Midnight Rambler, you wanna shirt the just not one of those. Well, I'm talking about the midnight, the one who closed the bedroom door. I'm called the hit and run reaper in anger. The knife sharpened, tiptoe. Oh, just a shooting dead, brain bell jangle. You know, the one you never seen before. So if you ever meet the midnight rambler, padding down your marble hall, well, he's bouncing like a proud black panther. You can say I told you so. Won't you listen for the midnight rambler? Hey, yeah, play it easy as you go. I'm gonna smash down all your flameless windows. Put a fist through your steel blade door. Did you hear about the midnight rambler? Leave his footprints up and down your hall. Did you hear about the midnight gambler? Did you see my name, my midnight call? And if you ever catch a midnight rambler, I stand your message from under your nose. I'm going easy with your cold bandana. I stick my knife right down your throat, baby, and it hurts.
Rolling Stones' Midnight Rambler from the album Let It Bleed, and that was a fantastic Jagger Richard composition. Now, Alan Parsons produced the album Tales of Mystery and Imagination in 1976, and the track we're going to hear is The Raven. Now, this I didn't know actually. The vocals in the first verse are Alan Parsons, which is a rarity, whereas the remainder is an actor called Leonard Whiting, who was apparently Romeo in Zeffirelli's film Romeo and Juliet. The project themselves in 1976 were a new band at the turning of the tide, with punk sweeping forward. But they were resilient and they continued to produce best-selling albums. And this, their first, is still dynamic, and this track captures the sinister yet melancholy poem by Edgar Allan Poe very well. Alan Parsons' project, The Raven.
You like the sun, your rays heal my troubled mind. A soulmate in this wounded world is all I try to find. You like the sun, you like the sun, you like the sun, pretty baby, heal my mind. Make me one, make me one. You like the sun, you like the moon, cast moonbeams on my dream, reflecting silent shadows, which aren't quite what they seem. You like the moon, you like the moon, you like the moon, pretty baby, heal my mind. Play my life, call my tune. You like the moon. like a star, like a pinpoint burning bright. Live the law of love, together walk in the light. Love is the law, love is the law, love is the law, yes, of the star and the moon and the sun, oh, in the night. Every man and every woman is a star, way up in the sky. And if we all can but love each other, I tell you our souls will never die. Let's walk in light together. Let's walk in light together. Baby, you and I. All our lives, all our lives. You and I. All our lives. You and I. You and I. Love is the law of the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky. Love is the law. Love is the law. Love is the law.
And through my sleeping, I heard a tapping at my door. I looked but nothing lay in the darkness, and so I turned inside once more. To my amazement, there stood a raven, whose shadow hung above my door. Then through the silence, it spoke the one word that I shall hear forevermore.
We will conclude this week with a truly beautiful song. We will conclude this week with a truly beautiful song sung by Timmy Euro, and it's entitled Time Interlude from the year 1968, and it is the title song of the romantic tearjerker Interlude, which as a movie is by all accounts vastly underrated. Now, Timmy Euro had an amazing vocal range and had a very, albeit under the radar, successful career, and that did include a #1 hit with Hurt. So, I will leave you with her superb rendition of Time Interlude. But before I go, I would like to thank Si, my producer, all at Radio Lewis, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye now.
Time is like a dream, and now for a time you are mine. Let's hold fast to the dream that tastes and sparkles like wine. Who knows if it's real or just something we're both dreaming of? What seems like an interlude now could be the beginning of love. Loving you is a world that's strange, so much more than my heart can hold. Loving you makes the whole world change. Loving you, I could not grow. No, nobody knows when love will end. So till then, sweet friend, time is like a dream. And now for a time you are mine. Let's hold fast to the dream that tastes and sparkles like wine. Who knows if it's real or just something we're both dreaming of? What seems like an interlude now could be the beginning of love. What seems like an interlude now could be the beginning of love.
Radio Lewis. Local webcasting for a worldwide audience.